Hi, welcome to Highland Cottage Books. I'm Martha, and this is Highland Cottage, and today I'm going to talk to you about four thrillers that I read recently. Three of them came out earlier this year, but all of them have the twists and the turns and the dark psychological goodness that make us keep turning the pages. I made coffee and tea, so grab yourself a mug, have a seat on the couch, and let's talk books. The Wasp Test is about a dinner party in London that goes horribly, horribly wrong. In it, a group of friends, or rather, I should say, a group of friends, reunites after 20 years to celebrate the life in a memorial for their old boss, who is a professor who worked with them on a startup that never ended up panning out. Back in the day, before the dot-com bubble, this group of people, when they were students, were working on a dating app that would match people using psychological testing. And they found that if they adapted the test a little bit, they could find out some other things about people too. Things were going really great, and they all kind of in the back of their heads thought they were going to be very, very rich. But then the investor suddenly pulled out all the funding and the entire project was put on ice. And most of these people haven't seen each other in 2 decades. Back in the present day, what is an awkward reunion full of kind of uncomfortable small talk and political wrangling turns completely off the rails when a home invasion occurs and everyone is held up at gunpoint and forced to play a deadly game. But the big question is, why are these specific people being targeted and who is behind it? Now, be warned, this is decidedly a far-fetched book. It is not a close-fetched book. But if you're a fan of thrillers, then that's par for the course, A. But B, the twists and the turns are completely satisfying, and you're just going to go, oh my god, keep it coming, keep it coming. It's like shoving popcorn in your mouth. You'll be completely fine with it. And the ending? In You Belong Here, a woman returns to her hometown when her daughter secretly applies to her old college. She didn't want her daughter to go to this school, even though her parents were both professors there, because her senior year she was asked to leave when an incident left 2 of the people from the town dead. Her roommate was definitely responsible for what happened that night, but the rest of the town and the school had suspicions that Beckett knew what was going on too and was helping her get away with it. It couldn't be proven, so charges were never filed, but even so, she feels like she's persona non grata around town, and that is why the book looks like this, that it has the secret don't in the middle of the you and belong. Things are going okay for young Delilah. She's made a few friends, and she has a full scholarship. But then comes the night of the howling. The howling is a tradition that has been banned on campus since the night of that incident, but it looks like someone has brought it back in order to seek revenge. This book explores the tension between town and gown, and as a fact brat, Beckett is sort of in between 2 worlds. She has the kids that she grew up with and the town that she grew up with, and she also knows that the college is where her parents were employed and where she eventually went to school and made new friends. Ultimately, there's a lot in here about loyalty, accountability, and the danger in keeping secrets. In Night Watcher, a radio host gets a call into her show from a woman who believes that she's being haunted by a ghost. While the host doesn't think there's actually a ghost in her house, what she is worried about is that a serial killer who targeted her, the host, as a child might be back. When she was a kid, she had a feeling like she was being watched, and then one terrible night, an intruder came in and butchered her babysitter in the kitchen. She saw the killer and the killer saw her, but the killer was masked, so she doesn't know who it is. Either way, after all these years, she thought she was safe. The killer did let her go the first time, and after the family moved, she didn't hear anything more about it. And in fact, there seemed to be a spree of killings around that time that ended that night. This book is completely stuffed with surprises, so I don't want to go too much into the details, but I will say that over the course of the story, Nola herself starts to become the target of someone who is either a copycat or the original killer, and it is terrifying. You're going to spend your entire time trying to guess who this person is and why they're doing it, and you're going to be wrong on both counts. If you've been watching any of my other recommendation videos, you've probably noticed that I save my favorite books for the end, and tonight is no different. And if you've been watching my other videos and you've been liking what you see, please subscribe. So my favorite book of this batch is The One by John Mars. It takes a high concept and draws it out to and executes it perfectly in a way that is very smart, very emotionally satisfying. It's well written. It's not hard to read. It's not poetry. It is just a great story full of great characters that you really care about as they're going on this journey. The One is a thriller, but it's also a little bit speculative fiction in that in the story, there's a company that figures out a way to test your DNA in order to find your ultimate soulmate. Now, you can meet someone else, you can fall in love with someone else, you can live a perfectly happy life without ever knowing if that person is really your soulmate or not, but it raises a lot of questions. This book feels like a really good episode of Black Mirror, and we follow along with various couples and individuals who go through the matchmaking process and face a series of hurdles and challenges. So, like, what if you get matched to someone who's all the way on the other side of the world? Or what if you get matched to someone who's dead? Or what if you find yourself matched with someone who isn't the gender that you're normally attracted to? Like, what if you are straight or have been straight your entire life and then you get matched to someone who is your gender? Do you go check that out, or do you just think that there was a mistake? And then there's one very dramatic case in which a serial killer falls in love with a detective. Mars takes a very simple premise, the idea that there might be one true soulmate out there for you, and turns it into a completely unputdownable book. If you take anything from this video, it's that you should probably rush out and go get yourself a copy of The One. So that's it. 4 thrillers that I read recently that I think you might like too. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe, and bye!